I'd like to call a special city council meeting to order for December 7th, 2023. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess what I'd be looking for, we don't need any approvals for any minutes or anything like that, but if there's some additions to the agenda, and I got a few, Jackie, if you want me to.
Yeah, I think all what we have is whatever.
Okay, so I'm thinking we need a motion to make Dion the point person for the office. We need a motion to have Gary Berg be the point person for job applications. I think, Donnie, I think we are going to do, set a pay range this evening. And then I think that is it.
I'll make the motion to accept the 3 additions to the agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. So the first thing on the, we can cover these other ones in a little bit, but the first thing I'd like to cover is the acceptance of the resignation of our city administrator, Bob Otremba. Bob's been with the city for 21 years. 23, sorry about that. 23 years of employment with Pierz. And I just wanted to thank Bob on behalf of myself and the city council for everything that you've done to make Pierz a success.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you want to say anything, Jackie or Donnie?
I will on the last city council that he's here. I don't want to get all choked up now.
If we
Okay.
don't accept it, can he quit? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Right?
How's that, Bob?
Believe me, I thought I'd do the same thing.
I will
so.
make the motion that we accept Bob's resignation.
Okay, Donnie makes a motion to accept his resignation.
I will second it, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck, Bob.
Yeah, we all do, Bob.
100%.
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried to accept the resignation of Mr. Otremba. Then let's go on to the approval to run an ad in the Morrison County Record for the position of city administrator for Pierz, Minnesota. And that would be Morrison County and other avenues as well.
Yeah.
So do we have a,
I did send one out.
Yep.
It might have gotten late.
I saw the, I did see it,
I
Jackie.
did re-update some of it because I didn't know how many words you could have in the League of Minnesota Cities. When I went back and read Dion's, I was like, oh no, I'm a little concerned.
The city
But-
administrator job advertisement?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it's on
number?
page 25, Donnie.
Okay, perfect.
okay,
So yeah. So. And I would like it to be position is open until filled. I know that on the League of Minnesota Cities, they need an end date. So I recommend that it would be 90 days. Typically, you get your most traction in the first 3 months of any job advertisements. So I would keep it open on any online boards for 90 days. But it would be open until we found an unqualified candidate.
Yep. And then do you want to add a pay range?
And then
to
I
it?
would just recommend we do an annual salary because
Yeah.
it's an exempt position. So
Yep.
I would do a pay range between 68,000 to 100,000.
Yep, that works for me. Donnie?
That way we kind of encompass everything.
So then I guess we need a motion for that, Jackie, if you want to make the motion, and then also with the pay.
I would make
put the
a
pay range in there.
motion to run or to post the position with a pay range of 68,000 to 100,000 with a position open until filled.
Okay, Jackie makes the motion for the ad.
I'll second that.
Donnie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Real quick, on the job advertisement, we have Dion's email. Are we changing that to Gary's?
I
or
kind of addressed that in here.
Okay.
We can, that'll be another one, that'll be another vote.
Okay, I just, with the job advertisement, then we want to make sure that we change the email.
Yeah,
on there. Okay.
if we decide, that's what we want to do, but we probably do want to do that.
Okay,
And,
Either way, it should come to City Hall
that's what I was
and then
thinking,
get forwarded on.
right.
okay.
So that's what we
So
would
keep
do with
going
any
to
job.
Dion and then
Yeah.
she can forward them on.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we'll try to make Dion maybe the center hub of this thing.
Okay.
And then she can just forward out emails
Okay.
accordingly,
I
so.
just want to make sure that
Yeah.
when we're doing everything, that it's very black and white for Dion, so
Oh,
she
yeah.
understands and
We kinda
our
talked-
people are supported
Yeah, we
in the
talked about it at the
transition.
employee meeting a little bit too, and
Perfect.
she situated. So the next one, let's just go to that next. So that would be a motion to make Dion the point person for the office. That would entail getting the emails for applications to her. And then she'll be the point person in general. So she'll work with Tony and Lydia. And if she's got to delegate some of her work off to them, she will, so she can do some other things. So if I can get a motion for that, then I'll do another separate motion for Gary Berg.
Sure,
handling
I
the
will make a
applications.
motion to have Dion the point person for the office.
Okay, Jackie makes the motion.
I'll second that.
Donnie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carried for that. Then I'd like to have a motion for Gary Berg to be the point person for the job application. So basically, they'd come into Dion and then they would go to Gary. So the other thing, if we can get pro sources going, Jackie, we could probably put, it'd be up to your discretion or whatever. We could put Dion on there, just have him go right to Gary, straight to Gary at that
Okay.
point, right from pro services.
And is Gary going to be the one, so when we talk about getting that application and the resume, is he going to be the one doing the point system on the application
Yeah.
before?
Right, yeah, if you want him to, we can do it. We can make him, or we can let him do the point system. too.
Okay, I just want to make sure that Dion understands what role she's playing in that.
Yeah, no, she doesn't have to do that.
Okay.
Either I'll help Gary or Gary can do it. We'll see how many applications we get. I'll work with Gary on that otherwise, or Donnie will, or one of us will.
Okay, I will make a recommendation, or I will recommend that Gary be the point person for the job applications for the city administrator.
Okay, so,
I'll second that.
Donnie seconds, so, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, Jackie. So the next one that I'd like to cover would be the approval of a hiring board for the city administrator position. What I would suggest is Sarah Fighton, me, John Perleyberg, one member from the commercial club, and then one city employee, whether that's Tony or Dion or,
Dion said she did not want to do it.
okay, are you okay with doing it, Tony? Nice, okay, because they'll work pretty close with you, and that'd be nice. I'd like to get your opinion. So we'll have Tony be on there. So it'd be Sarah, me, Tony, and then Jackie. Obviously, you'd be on there. If something would happen with you or whatever, or if you got a lot going on, I know you've been really working really hard at this. So I'd like to make Gary a substitute in
Yep.
case something happens with you. And then we'll have somebody from the commercial club. So there'll be 5 people on that employee hiring board. So I need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion for the hiring board to include Sarah, John, myself, Tony, a member of the Pierz Area Commercial Club, and then Gary as a substitute.
Okay, Jackie makes a motion for the approval of the positions on the hiring board.
I'll second that.
Donnie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. So the rest of things, Jackie did an admirable job on all this stuff. I don't think we necessarily have to vote on any of these things. I think they're more for a review, unless you see something that we need to vote on.
It's really just, it's been on our back burner and this kind of just made it on the front burner of updating our employee,
Handbook?
well, not just handbook, but application. So the employment application, it's just updated to include all of the stuff to show the veteran points and all the stuff that we say we do in our handbook to translate it back onto the application. And then also just the reference check and the data, policies and all of that. So it's really just kind of getting this new application approved
Okay.
for the city so we can add that onto the website. And then print off some going forward for individuals coming in so that they can attach their resume and do the application
Got it.
as well. So there would need to be a motion to approve the new application. So if anybody is okay, if everybody's okay, or if I can, get that
Yeah.
motion, I
Yep.
guess.
You go ahead, you can make it if you want to.
Okay, I will make a motion to approve the new application for the city of Pierz.
Okay, Jackie makes a motion to approve the new application for the city of Pierz.
I'll second it.
Donnie seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, motion carried.
Jackie, that's pages 3, 4, 5, and 6?
Hmm?
3, 4, pages 3, 4, 5, 6, is that correct?
Essentially,
and
the
7.
whole application is between pages 3 through 16.
Oh, okay.
3 through 6.
And really, it's just kind of, that's like a
16,
general
I think
privacy,
you said.
there's
Right.
privacy practices and different things like that, so.
Yep.
Eventually, when this gets to the online, they can tailor this all as a thing online for an application, hopefully with Pro Resources,
Oh, yeah.
so that they'll just have all this stuff pretty much answered within this. But we live in a community, I'm a paper person, so, but they just ask a lot of information these days, so.
Yep. Anything else, Donnie?
I don't have anything. I don't know if we need to do anything or not.
I think unless Jackie, I think we got everything set enough we can move forward, I guess, with it.
Yep,
and-
the only thing we would want to review is the job description and make sure we get that approved for the city administrator position.
Where's that?
That's page 50.
Is that something we have to have, we probably have to have that, don't we, for if somebody,
Yes, you want to have that available so that when people go to ask about it, that it's there.
right,
The rest is kind of information. So how this is we're going to have that employee committee. We have questions in there that will show kind of
oh, got
our
it. Yep,
interview
yep, yep.
questions are in there and all of that as well. But this is really kind of, what I would like to see us do this time so that we're organized and everybody can feel supported going into everything.
Right,
So really, there is a toolkit for hiring a city manager. That's really information for our employee, for our council and for anybody coming in to help with the hiring board or anything like that. What's kind of the do's and don'ts of also interviewing and asking questions, confidentiality and what's confidential, when is it confidential, and when does it not become confidential. So just something to consider when we do go into our interviews is that all of our candidates are confidential until our second round or our finalists. And then those could potentially be made public. And so we would then let our candidates know this could become public at this time. So please make sure your employer is notified that you've put your name in the hat or something like that. We try to maintain confidentiality throughout the entire thing, but it can at that point sometimes become unconfidential. But there's also interview questions in there. So that would be something that I wanted to make sure that everybody was okay with asking those kind of interview
yeah, I saw it
questions.
looked pretty good, actually, yeah.
So,
kinda reviewed them.
and Bob, that's why I sent it to you too, to, did you feel like those were pertinent for your job and, all of that stuff? Because I want to make sure when we're getting someone new in here that it's, like I've said from the beginning, as transparent as possible that we can be with our people. So just from that, and then really the city admin employment agreement. This came from the League of Minnesota Cities, and so, it's one of those things, yes, we are a at-will employer, but it is nice to have it laid out when we give somebody an offer letter and give them what we're, kind of laying it all out as. So, just to have that in there is something as well.
Yeah, it's
So-
nice. I know, I think Pro Resources, you can send the offer letter right through there too. It's kind of a nice little deal.
Yeah. So,
So the biggest thing I think we need to vote on is the position description, because that's something that we have to have with it, right?
and Bob, I sent this again to you this morning. Did you feel like this was an overall good job description and felt like it kind of encompassed a lot of everything in there? What were your thoughts?
I thought it was really good. I did not look at the previous one, but I
Okay.
did. I read through this whole thing and I signed off on it,
Okay.
like you wanted me to.
Oh, good.
Perfect. I just
I didn't know
wanted to
about
make
the su-
sure.
Yeah.
And that's all that really mattered with it. This one is going forward, what you felt was fair for
Yeah.
the job and going forward. So want to make sure that we're honoring what you've done. And so the new person coming in knows too. So perfect.
Can I get a motion to approve the job description?
I'll make that motion.
Donnie makes a motion to approve the job description for the city administrator position.
I will second that.
Jackie seconds it. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. And the rest of the stuff's really good too. It's a lot of stuff we can use moving forward once we get candidates in.
100%. And how, just to kind of touch base with that too, so my expectation is when like a resume would come in, we have this, administered training and experience rating sheet. So the applicant name would be put on the top because we have to keep applications for a certain amount of time after in case we deny them or why we denied them. And so the experience and training rating sheet is something that's kind of right away minimum requirements. Bachelor's degree in related field or 10 years relevant experience, 5 years paid management experience, yes or no. If no, then it's not qualified and the rating would be complete. If yes to both, then qualified. This is something that we can change if you so choose. I didn't, for me, it was like a bachelor's degree in related field or 10 years relevant experience. Did we want 10 years? Did we want 5 years? Did we want 3 years? What, that was kind of something that I wanted to
Yeah,
see.
typically, what I've seen is 5 years.
Because I did 5 years paid management experience.
Oh.
But, it's bachelor's degree in related field or 10 years relevant experience working for a city
Got it.
or, it could be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
combined between maybe
Okay,
a council member.
yeah, that makes some
plus
sense.
Public,
Yep,
that
yep.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, so it's a total of 10 years.
and then it just goes down to category 2 when you're going through their resume, education, and then it kind of just rates them on that scale. What do they have kind of experience in or, not? And then, labor relations experience and computer software, that kind of stuff. And then
Sure.
veteran points as well. So,
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
but if anything needs to be changed, just
That
let
looks-
me
I
know.
know, that's pretty good, Donnie, too, doesn't it, too? Yeah, looks good to me.
And it could be too, like, no to any one category. If we pass them, then I think it's just kind of explain why we pass them. If we,
Right.
why we are interviewing them, it just gives us kind of that food for thought.
Absolutely.
But again, just another tool so that when we're doing this, I want to make this transition as easy as possible so that we're not all stressed out to, there's enough that everybody's going to have to manage
Yeah.
going forward. So I want to make sure that this is as easy as a transition as it can be because realistically, Bob's managed a lot and city, government moves slow. And so we're going to get this posted, hopefully get some interviews done the first week in, January,
Right.
whatever, but then we still have to get it on the docket to be approved.
Yep.
And then somebody's going to have to give notice and depending on their level of management, it could be a month's notice out. So we could be looking at potentially having someone start even March 1st.
Right.
So
I think that'd be a
Just
good
from
goal.
that.
Good goal to have.
I would, I guess I should have added in here possibly, as an add to the agenda with accepting the resignation of Bob, possibly giving us the authority to hire an interim if need be, if we can't get somebody hired in at council's discretion. So then we can get somebody temporarily in until we can hire
I was
somebody.
thinking that we didn't have.
So I don't know if we would want to make a motion that we could hire someone
From my understanding,
externally.
we don't have to make a motion to do that.
We don't have to, but it would be nice
Yeah,
to
let's, we
just
can do,
have it out.
I'm all for making one. If you, so I would look for a motion to hire an interim city administrator prior to.
If we need to,
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Donnie makes the motion.
I'll second it.
Jackie accepts it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carried to look into hiring an interim city administrator prior to hiring a
Yeah,
full-time one.
the toolkit, and the reason I thought about that tool with the toolkit is they said sometimes the League of Cities or Sourcewell or other people have sometimes options to have
They
somebody
do.
step in, or if you could
Yep.
partner with a different city to come in to help with duties or stuff like that. You know, so it just kind of makes sense if we can't get at least a few people interviewed and on the docket before.
I think it's relatively.
Christmas is coming.
Yeah, I think it's relatively common that they
Yeah.
have them, because I've been looking at some of the stuff online, and the cities that don't have a city administrator have interim managers until they hire them.
So just want to get that out there just in case, so that, again, for the city purposes, we're as transparent as possible. So.
Yep, nope, that sounds good to me.
If nothing else, then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, Donnie makes the motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Jackie seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried.